Hi, everyone. Welcome to an episode of Sourcing.Guru. I'm really excited today to introduce to you an industry expert, somebody who's made major contributions to the overall sourcing and procurement industry, Dawn Tiura. Dawn is the CEO of Sourcing.Group, also known as SIG. Dawn, welcome.
Thank you. So glad to be here with you today, Atul.
Tell us a little bit about SIG, and also tell us a little bit about, as CEO, what do you focus on?
So SIG is actually going into its 30th year. I wasn't there at the very beginning, but it's a 30-year-old association. But we are the world's largest association representing people in the procurement and the outsourcing space. So anything to do with procurement, sourcing, and outsourcing, that is our sweet spot. We represent probably 300 of the Fortune 500, probably 500 of the Global 1000 companies. And our focus is constantly on the education and elevation of the office of the CPO.
And Dawn, having participated myself, you absolutely are accomplishing that mission. So thank you as an industry professional from that perspective.
Thank you.
So Dawn, one thing I've learned in my almost 3-decade career in sourcing and outsourcing and risk management is that's not really where people start out. So talk to us a little bit about your journey and what brought you to the CEO role.
Yeah, so mine was, like most people that have been in it for a long time, it was one of those odd paths that got me there. I'm trained as a CPA. I'm a licensed CPA. I have a master's in international taxation. And I had a CPA firm in Palo Alto, California for years. And one of my clients was a consulting firm that was just entering into the sourcing arena. And they hired us to come in and build a cost model because they said, we know we're driving incredible benefits, but we can't show where they are. So we did one of the very first total cost of ownership cost models. It was for a hospital organization called Kaiser Permanente from the West Coast. And I fell in love with sourcing. I thought, this is so neat. So I sold my CPA firm. I went to work for this consulting firm for about 3 years. I realized I make a really lousy employee. So I started my own consulting firm. And so I started Denali Consulting in 1996. Then I started to speak at the SIG summits. And I said to the gentleman who was running it, one day I'd love to grow up and be you. And he said, what does that mean? And I said, you get to talk about sourcing morning, afternoon, and night. 5 years later, he literally called me up and said, are you ready to grow up and be me? And so I had an opportunity then to take over SIG, and it's been a dream come true. I sold my consulting firm, and I never looked back. And so that was in 2007. So I fell into sourcing like a lot of us have, but I stayed because I love it.
What a great story from CPA to consulting to now running a very successful association. Thank you for that, Dawn.
Thank you.
So Dawn, let's talk about some of the trends that we are seeing and how that's impacting you and your